are 9 years old, and the palace is already trying to kill you. Not the way children imagine danger. Real danger. The kind with names and faces. Your father sits on the throne of Egypt, and everyone around him is calculating how long before they can take it. Your older sister watches you from across the room with eyes that have already done the math. You are a small girl in a palace full of knives, so you make one decision that will define everything. You study like your life depends on it, because it does. Languages first. Egyptian, because your ancestors never bothered and you find that embarrassing. Hebrew, Aramaic, Latin. Greek is already yours from birth. By 12, you speak 9 languages. Not a party trick, a weapon. Every ambassador, every general who walks through those doors, you will speak to them in their own tongue before they decide whether you matter. Level 1. The crown no one wanted. You are 18. Your father is dead. The throne passes to you and your 10-year-old brother. His name is Ptolemy the 13th. He is a child. The men around him are not. 3 advisors control your brother like a puppet, flood the army with loyalists, and drive you into the desert with whatever you could carry. The richest woman in the world, sleeping in the sand. Most people who get exiled stay exiled. You are not most people. Level 2. The carpet. You are 21. Julius Caesar has sailed into Alexandria. He is 52, the most powerful man alive, and your brother's men have already reached him first. You are camped outside the city with no army, no access, no way past the palace gates without being killed before you reach the door. So you do something nobody in the history of power had done before. You roll yourself inside a carpet. 1 servant, 1 carpet. Carried through the gates in the dark, unrolled at Caesar's feet. You stand up, covered in dust, completely composed, and you speak to him in Latin. Caesar has seen everything. He has never seen anything like this. By morning, you are his ally. Your brother's advisors miscalculated. They saw a girl in the desert. They forgot she had the nerve of someone with nothing left to lose. Level 3. The war in the palace. Your brother's men declare open war inside Alexandria, street by street. The harbor burns. The great library catches fire. And part of the greatest collection of human knowledge ever assembled is lost forever. 6 months of fighting inside the city you were born in. At the end of it, your brother is dead, drowned in the Nile, weighted down by his own golden armor. You are queen. You are 21 years old, and you just won a civil war. Level 4. The golden years. Egypt under your hand becomes something your ancestors never managed. You open grain reserves during famine and feed people who would have starved. You perform ceremonies in the Egyptian language because you understand what 300 years of Greek rulers never grasped. The people don't want a foreign queen in a Greek mask. They want a pharaoh. The priests call you the goddess Isis made flesh. A goddess is harder to overthrow than a queen. Caesar returns to Rome. You follow with your son, his son, a boy you name Caesarion. You stay 2 years. You are in Rome on the Ides of March, 44 BC, when Caesar walks into the Senate and 23 men with knives remind him that Rome does not want a king. You take your son and you go home. Level 5. The golden barge, Rome fractures. 2 men rise. Octavian, Caesar's heir, cold and precise, and Mark Antony, Caesar's greatest general, who controls the eastern half of the Roman world. Antony summons you to Tarsus to answer for your loyalty. A summons, not an invitation. You make him wait. Days pass. Antony sits in Tarsus. You do not come. When you finally arrive, you come on a golden barge with purple sails and silver oars moving to flute music. Dressed as the goddess Aphrodite, incense smoke drifting toward the shore where the entire city has abandoned whatever it was doing to stare. Antony is sitting alone in the marketplace by the time you dock. You send him an invitation to dinner. He comes. Level 6. The alliance, 10 years that Rome calls a scandal, and history calls something more complicated. You give Antony grain, ships, and loyalty. He gives you military protection. You have 3 children together. Octavian watches all of this and makes his move. He does not declare war on Antony. He declares war on you, the foreign queen who corrupted Rome's greatest general. He is a genius at making people believe his version of events. The legions begin to move. Level 7. Actium. You are 38. The Battle of Actium, 31 BC. Your combined fleet against Octavian's navy off the coast of Greece. The battle goes badly. You break through with what survives and retreat to Egypt. Antony follows, abandoning his army on the shore. His soldiers surrender to Octavian within a week. You return to Alexandria. You still have Egypt. You still have the treasury. You begin negotiating because queens do not surrender, they negotiate. Octavian's letters are polite. His army keeps marching. Then a false report reaches Antony. You are dead. He believes it instantly and falls on his sword. He doesn't die immediately. He lingers, bleeding, and someone tells him the report was wrong. He is carried to you and dies in your arms. Level 8. The last room. Octavian comes to see you in person. You are 39. Fleet gone. Army gone. The man you built the last decade with, dead on the floor. And you sit across from the most powerful man in the world, and you still push back. You argue. You present your accounts. His advisors watch with something that looks like discomfort. But Octavian needs you alive for one reason. He wants to chain you and parade you through Rome as proof the East has been conquered. After that, he does not need you at all. You understand this before he says a word. You have always understood the room before anyone in it opened their mouth. Level 9. The price. You send Caesarion away first. North, toward India, away from Octavian's hands, because the boy who carries Caesar's blood, and your blood, is the one person Octavian will not allow to live. You bathe. You dress in your royal robes. You send Octavian a letter. He won't understand until it is too late. How you die is debated 2,000 years later. The cobra pressed to your skin, the symbol of Egyptian royalty, may be history, may be legend, may be both. What is not dated is this. You chose the room, the hour, the dress, the moment. Octavian wanted a captive. What he found was an empty throne and a letter. He executes Caesarion anyway. The boy is 17. Egypt becomes a Roman province. 300 years of dynasty ended. The last pharaoh was a girl who decided at 9 that survival meant becoming the most dangerous mind in the room. She taught herself 9 languages. She smuggled herself into power inside a carpet. She held Rome at arm's length for a decade with nothing but grain, gold, and nerve. And when every army was gone and every ally was dead, she looked at the man who thought he had won, and she chose the one thing he could never take from her. The ending. Octavian got his province. 2,000 years later, nobody remembers what he wanted her to say, walking through Rome in chains. They only remember that she didn't. You are 39 years old. You are history.